Hello. Well, two up, two down. This so far for 2023. We had the full moon a couple weeks ago, and tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st, it is the new moon. Here in San Francisco, the new moon is around noon, 12:53 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And the new moon is in Aquarius. The sun and the moon are both in the same position at 1.5 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius is a fixed sign, and it's a lot about a community. Wait, I'm going to stop. Hello, and so far in 2023, we've had a full moon, and tomorrow on January 21st, 2023, we have the new moon in Aquarius. So I have a good record so far this year, having done a video, posted a video for the full moon, and now one for the new moon. See if I keep that up. Hello. Tomorrow, January 21st, Saturday, 2023, we have the new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign that emphasizes groups and groups of like-minded others, not just any group, and kind of humanitarian, egalitarian, let's get together for the greater good sort of experience. It's a fixed sign, so the danger with Aquarius is let's get together for the greater good as I see it, or as we see it, as we, the group, have decided it should be, is sort of a danger. But nonetheless, there's a tendency, there's an interesting kind of movement right now towards like coming together for sort of social, humanitarian, idealistic, altruistic purposes. And the question really arising of how do I take care of myself, my own needs, and the needs of the others in a group, the needs of the group. All of the planets are grouped together tightly, except for one, Mars, which is just a little bit on the outside of it. And Mars has to do with how we take care of ourselves. It's in Gemini, so there's definitely, which is an air sign, as is the moon and sun in Aquarius. So generally speaking, this should be a good time for the air signs, the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras. But there's sort of an emphasis on communication and maybe not holding on so much in some sense to emotional hurts, or not a tendency to sort of deflect, move on to something else. If one door isn't opening, well, try this other one, you know. And also the past few weeks, Saturn was unaspected, leading to kind of like a certain sort of heaviness. Right now, Saturn is aspected by Venus. So there's a little bit of the energy, like, you know, like that really cute toddler coming up to the old man and like giving him a toy to play with, and like making the old man play with him or her, the cute toddler, sort of like, you know, come on. There's a little bit of a coaxing us out of our heaviness. You know, the arts, the social, humanitarian, the things that connect us, not so much emotionally, but perhaps intellectually or idealistically. There's a cautious kind of cracking open from our own small world into a slightly larger world, the larger world of the others who agree with us or who might agree with us. That's not the only thing that's going on, but generally speaking, the aspects are relatively favorable for men. There's something favorable for everyone to some degree, and the heaviness of the past few weeks is lightened. It's the time of the new moon, and Pluto is also there with the sun and the moon, giving us a little bit of a taste of the kind of energy that we might be facing in the course of the year as Pluto gets ready to enter Aquarius for the first time. things that join us to other people, things that join us to groups of like-minded others, and what we do to bring others into the fold of what we believe in, and of what we feel is what we truly feel is helpful for everyone. If there's a downside, and generally speaking, there's always a downside, but if there is a downside to the astrological aspects right now, the sort of grounding energy, the earth and water energy, is a little maybe inconsistent. We have Mercury in Earth sign, but it's making a challenging aspect to Jupiter, and Mercury is just about communication, and then there's also Uranus in Taurus, but according to some that planet would be unaspected, which is a little bit more like, I think there, and Uranus typically rules Aquarius, where there's like the sun, the moon, and Saturn and Venus. So it can be a little bit of a heady time, or a little bit of a time where it's difficult to kind of quite completely focus or ground, or where you sort of suddenly get the rug pulled out from under your feet, or the direction that you were going kind of just suddenly we're doing a reverse turn or something like that. But generally speaking, it's a relatively favorable new moon, and a good time to kind of open up the windows a little bit, perhaps, or look outside and begin the process of engaging with others in a different way, and in a way that to you seems interesting and even a little exciting. All right, I will keep that short, and see you for the full moon in 2 weeks. Hello. So we have a new moon tomorrow on Saturday, January 21st, around noon here on the west coast of the United States. It's the new moon in Aquarius, the sun and the moon both being at about 1.5 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius is a fixed sign, and it's a sign that emphasizes like-minded others, ideals, idealism, and groups of people bonded together because they share some similar idea of, and usually something idealistic or altruistic, potentially creative. But it's not really an emotional sign, which of course the moon rules our emotions. If there's a downside to the sign of Aquarius, a fixed sign, is that it can be a little bit fixed about what is right, about what everybody in the group should agree or be like or want to do. And we do have a little bit of a dynamic right now of wanting to step out, of there being a growing energy towards connecting to others around some idea or some belief or some shared altruistic idea or concept or enterprise. And how do we take care of the needs of the group, and how do you take care of your own needs within a group, the needs of the individual and the needs of the group? If there's a challenge presented, it's that one. But we have a lot of positive aspects right now, so there's more of a sense of the altruism and the power of the new idea, whatever it is, the power of a new sense of something that can bring people together. There's a lot of emphasis on the art and on making arts more tangible, or gatherings, work gatherings even. Saturn was unaspected up to this week, and now Venus is now conjunct Saturn. So that's a little bit like, the toddler, the beautiful, sweet toddler coming up to the grumpy old man and giving him a toy and making him play with her. so the sort of like within ourselves, like the grumpy old man is being given a toy by the toddler and he's not being able to refuse. There's this like this coaxing out of our shells, this kind of cracking open and just changing our perspective the tiniest bit from looking in, which is not always a bad thing, but from our own small world to just moving out, not so much to the whole big world at large, but to others who are like us, others who believe in certain things like us, who enjoy the certain creative or intellectual or idealistic pursuits that that there's a call to merge with others who feel as you do. Of course, there's always other aspects going on as well, although it's interesting to note that Pluto is also there in the mix right now with the new moon. It hasn't yet moved into Aquarius, but it's right there on the edge of Capricorn with the Capricorn with the Aquarius new moon and sun. So there's a little bit of a sense of like the opening that we're feeling right now. This is where we want to go in the time ahead, not just in the year ahead, but in the time ahead. We want to open to this. So let yourself take in whatever it is coming up for you that is new or that seems to connect you to others in a way that seems meaningful. And there's a little bit of a stepping away from perhaps some of the emotionalism of your own life, not in a permanent sense and not in a way that there's any denial, but in a way to, connect to something broader that unites you with others and that can maybe just give a little bit of space, a little bit of air. These are air signs, a little bit of air around like, your own need to have. As I might have said, the how you take care of, how the self, how the individual is taken care of, and how the group is taken care of is really a play that's at work here. We have Uranus still in Taurus, a little bit at odds with it, but not really quite exactly aspecting anything. So there's always a possibility of a sudden like about face of everything, or turnaround or upsets or things like that. But these can be taken in stride. The movement right now is, and perhaps those things would happen as well if there's not proper grounding, because there's all this air energy right now. So being sure to like not get too lightheaded or too airheaded about the ideas or direction or all the many possibilities of directions in which you would like to go. Those are the kinds of things like if you're not grounded enough in that things there'll be sudden upsets. Hope that was clear. This should generally be a good time for the air signs, but again, which are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And for the fire signs, there's never anything that's like across the board always good for like everyone and every sign. And for the earth and water signs, that enlivening energy is probably a really good thing, if a little bit frustrating or frightening even. For the air and fire signs, remembering to ground yourself, to not just kind of like go all out there is probably what you most need to hear. And for all of us, there's just a little bit of a sense of the kind of cracking open and allowing a breath of fresh air to come in and sweep away some of the cobwebs and maybe some of the shoulds that have accumulated over the winter. So have a great 2 weeks, and I'll talk to you on the full moon.